Now, the drive is on for Singapore to have its car population run on cleaner energy by 2030. Acting Transport Minister Jeffrey Xiao says electric vehicles could allow roads to be built closer to buildings as they are silent and non-polluting. Now, let's take a closer look at the vehicle types that saw the biggest shifts in fuel usage since the end of last year. Now, first off, cars. The number of petrol cars dipped by about 2.7% and is about 500,000 as of end May. Electric cars saw a rev up of close to 30% to around 34,000. Next, taxis. Diesel cab numbers fell by over 60%, with fewer than 500 left on the road. Hybrid taxis saw a 1% rise, while petrol and electric ones remained unchanged. For buses, 100 diesel buses were taken off the roads, with slightly over 17,500 of them left. Electric buses saw a boost of about 32%, adding up to over 500 now. And looking at newly registered electric cars this year, the most popular brands are BYD, Tesla, and BMW. The transition to electric vehicles has been gradual, with EVs taking up only 5% of the car population. Car workshops are also finding it hard to pivot, with technicians having to be trained in new brand-specific technologies. And while more training courses are being set up in Singapore, take-up is slow and interest has been dwindling.
7 years ago, this workshop pivoted from a third-party workshop to specializing in electric vehicles. But the pivot wasn't an easy one.
How many people were there who could actually repair or service or even understand electric vehicles? Not many. With all the different brands that we're carrying now, our technicians are also sent back to where the factories are because they need a specific skill set. They are taught by the factories of who manufacture the vehicles on how to service, repair, safety protocols for them, as well as important thing, how to link the vehicles back to the factories for downloading additional new softwares which are required to update and upgrade the systems.
This makes Hong Se the go-to maintenance workshop for 7 EV manufacturers. But upskilling workers came with a cost. Sending 10 of their staff for one overseas training trip set the company back by close to 45,000 Singapore dollars. It's a price barrier others face in trying to pivot into the sector, as Singapore gears up for a cleaner energy car population by 2030.
Based on our sensing, probably around 10% of the current professional pool are still in that domain. The only challenge today will be sufficient training and the right training to help them acquire the needed skill and to be able to work in the industry. They will also need to be able to know the latest technology and the latest know-how to continue to be able to keep pace with the changing technology and to gain employment.
It's why Temasek Polytechnic is opening its third and newest course this month to teach EV basics to adult learners. It's accepted more than 100 students since launching the first course last November. But not everyone is in a rush to learn. Electric cars consist only about 5% of the total population, despite their numbers more than doubling last year. And with an ongoing manpower crunch of technicians, workshops are also hesitant to send their staff for training.
Majority of them are still under warranty. Most of them do have programs with the agents workshop, so they will stick to those programs. Although they are able to come up to the independent workshops for service and repairs, it's not flowing into our market yet. So we are not seeing EV that common in our workshops.
The association says that while the training courses build a good knowledge foundation, they do not cover systems specific to different car brands. It's working with TP, Chinese EV giant BYD, and German automotive tech firm Bosch for more targeted training.
While car workshops are still trying to rev up in EV maintenance, manufacturers are keen to do more to upskill workers here. Some EV makers say Singapore's highly capable talent pool makes the country well prepared to deal with new EV technologies. Korean car maker Hyundai produces 4 EV models at its Jurong facility, where nearly 4 in 5 of its 300-odd staff members are locals. Workers are expected to be skilled in automated and intelligent systems. Hyundai says Singapore's focus on upskilling ensures its workforce is well prepared for tech transformation. The country's stable business landscape and commitment to sustainability also makes it an attractive expansion location. For Chinese EV giant BYD, it mainly employs servicing and repair technicians here. To cope with demand, it's working with NTUC Learning Hub to conduct training courses, such as the National EV Specialist Safety Certification Program. And we're joined once again by Associate Professor Raymond Ong from the College of Design and Engineering at NUS. Now, earlier we discussed the push for autonomous vehicles. Now we're turning our attention to electric vehicles. Are you optimistic that Singapore can reach its target of having its cars run on cleaner energy by 2030?
I'm actually pretty optimistic about that because we have seen in the latest COE bidding data that actually more than 40% of our cars, newly registered cars, are actually electric vehicles. And this number is expected to rise as we are taking along to 2030 as the car actually are deciding to actually get a new car or actually to renew their COE. So we are expecting that to actually increase over time.
Now, there's actually a midway option, right? Car owners now opt for hybrid cars, which runs on petrol and electricity. Is that a popular option? And would that slow down our ability to reach that goal?
I think in terms of cleaner energy vehicles, hybrid cars is actually part of the cleaner energy vehicle fleet. And if we were talking about full electrification, of course, we want to achieve that by 2040 as actually part of our EV plan. And this is where I think by then, the EV battery technology, the availability of EV charging in Malaysia, which is actually one option why owners in Singapore want to own hybrid vehicles, may actually tilt the market actually to the electric vehicles, maybe when Malaysians actually have a better EV charging network.
Now, our report mentioned earlier there's a limited pool of EV car service technicians. What do you think needs to be done here?
I think we have to actually understand that the EV market is also changing, whereby the buyer of an EV car actually get their maintenance done by the brand himself, for example, like BYD or also, whereby they have their own service technicians trained by them who knows how to actually repair their vehicles to actually work and service on this. So basically, I think NTUC and the government actually has been working with them closely to actually train and upskill workers to be trained in specific brands, whereby the prospective owners of EV cars will be actually purchasing. And we can see that's a very different shift from the economy that we see today, whereby I can go to a workshop and maintain a vehicle.
Now, let's look at it from the point of view of the car buyers. What do you think are the main reasons why buyers decide against buying an electric vehicle? And what are some of these reasons without merit at all?
I think the main concern is mainly the perception issue. And mainly, for example, if someone like me who want to drive in Malaysia, then I would actually have to plan my route to make sure that I do charge my vehicles at very strategic locations. And this is a real concern if, let's say, I'm expected to travel to our neighboring country very often, or if I wanted to do some groceries over there. But don't forget about that, Malaysia is also improving their electric infrastructure. And there will come a tipping point whereby then there will be actually parity in owning both vehicles. But if, let's say, I'm just traveling day to day from home to work, there's no difference at all. Actually, I may be better off buying an electric vehicle. And that is why you can see that more and more electric vehicles are being purchased today.
I see. Well, thank you so much for your insights, Professor Ong. That was Associate Professor Raymond Ong from the National University of Singapore.